Urban planning has been in the doldrums for many years. From the 1950s to the 1970s, it was seen as the means by which governments could deliver equitable and economically efficient development, physical integration, great structures, and major public works. In recent years, however, it has come to be regarded as old-fashioned, technocratic, and bureaucratic, stifling development by wrapping it up in red tape.
As it failed to respond to the needs of rapidly growing cities, planning was replaced by, at best, sectoral programs and policies, and at worst, laissez-faire development. However, with nearly half of the world's population now living in cities and expected to rise to 2/3 by 2020, there is a new urgency to reinvent urban planning so that it can help build more livable, sustainable and inclusive cities.
The issues of planning and sustainability of human settlements have been discussed at various global fora over the past 30 years, from Habitat 1 in Vancouver 1976 to the Earth Summit Rio in 1992, Habitat 2 in Istanbul in 1996, and the World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg in 2002. Harking back to 1976, Margaret Mead, the noted anthropologist, had the following to say.
And one of the things that this conference could do is to pick up some of the points where the lessons are clear and get them into the world's dialogue in time so that as we build for another planet, as we build as many settlements in the next 30 years as have been built in the whole of human history, some of these lessons are learned, and that you here at Vancouver start mankind on a wiser course. Because it is two planets, the planet of the rich and the planet of the poor.
A major milestone in this global process was the adoption of the Habitat Agenda in Istanbul in 1996, which laid down two global goals with huge implications for planning: sustainable human settlements development and adequate shelter for all.
And now, Habitat 2.
In reality, however, urban growth in the 21st century has been fast and furious, leaving planning and planners far behind, leading to urban sprawl, pollution, informality and crime both in the north and the south.
But there are signs of hope. In 1990, the city of Leicester was designated as Britain's first environment city. It set out to prove that a compact city offers a way forward in reversing the trend of global environmental decay, whilst at the same time improving the quality of life for local residents. Generally, Leicester has the opportunity to build upon its success and become the model for environmental excellence, a city with a great sense of civic pride. In the south, too, things are changing. Over the last decade, a huge effort has been put into establishing a new and effective system of development planning in South Africa. While conventional spatial planning was a tool for racial segregation, the new integrated development plans have laid the ground for more participatory, effective and inclusive planning in South African cities.
At the summit of 2005, the notion of planning cities and towns took center stage, so that in paragraph 56M of the World Summit outcome of 2005, the summit endorsed that we can not only upgrade slums, we have to prevent slums.
The big question now is this: is planning ready to reinvent itself to face the future? Are planners ready to take on new roles of facilitating dialogue among stakeholders, of integrating the formal and the informal city, and in the process finding the fine balance between social, environmental and economic priorities in our towns and cities?
Planning is an essential part of the development process. As we are all aware of, the sort of urbanization that we have witnessed in developing countries have been chaotic, unplanned and has led to a number of negative and unintended consequences. So in order to restore urbanization to the way in which city dwellers will benefit, the UN Habitat decided to publish and to research and publish on this topic. The key findings of this report is, first of all, to validate the need for planning. Secondly, we find that there's been widespread poverty in developing countries. There's been very chaotic urbanization. There has been widespread urban informality. And therefore, there's a need for us to address these issues, particularly poverty within urban areas, the problems of slums, and the problem of widespread crime and poverty. The key is for us to get both central, municipal, and city level states and governments to be much more engaged in the planning process, to call attention to these key findings that we have had, so that institutions and policies are able to address them directly in order for us to restore cities to the role that they are expected to play in the 21st century.